she admitted she had an affair years ago. She said my dad knew about it, but they had worked through it and decided to raise me together as if nothing had happened. She was adamant that I was their child and that the idea of a kidnapping was absurd. My dad looked furious at her or me. I couldn't tell. He accused me of being ungrateful and said I was falling for Olivia's manipulations. I left the house that day more confused than ever. Olivia and I talked on the phone that evening, and she told me her side again. According to her, their mother, our biological mother, was coerced into giving me up due to financial struggles. Olivia claimed their family was going through a tough time, and someone offered to help by taking me in. She didn't know all the details, but she was sure her mom never agreed to give me up permanently. I decided to share the DNA results with a few close family members, hoping someone might shed light on what was going on. Reactions were mixed. An uncle admitted he had known about my mom's affair but claimed he didn't know anything about an adoption or kidnapping. Others were skeptical of the DNA test and sided with my parents, saying I was being influenced by Olivia and her stories. That night, I dug through old family documents stored in a box in the attic. There were photo albums, legal papers, and random keepsakes. I realized there were no medical records from my birth or early childhood, nothing before I was about 3 years old. Even my birth certificate, which I'd already found odd, didn't match the timeline my parents had always told me. A week later, I received a letter from Olivia's biological mother. It was handwritten, emotional, and full of apologies. She said she had spent years wondering what happened to me and had tried to reconnect but was always met with closed doors. She didn't provide hard evidence, just memories and feelings, but her words felt genuine. She said she wanted to meet me whenever I was ready. Things at home became tense. My older sister called me selfish for stirring the pot and warned me not to ruin our family. My younger brother, on the other hand, was curious. He started asking our parents questions, which only seemed to make things worse. My mom became increasingly withdrawn, while my dad was more defensive than ever. At one point, he told me if I kept pushing, I would destroy our family. The underlying threat was clear: stop now or risk being disowned. I couldn't let it go, though. I arranged to meet Olivia's biological mother in person. The meeting was emotional and overwhelming. She cried as soon as she saw me and hugged me tightly, but the details she shared were still vague. She claimed a family friend had helped arrange for me to go to a better home, but didn't elaborate on how it all happened. Without concrete proof, I didn't know what to believe. When I got home, my boyfriend suggested hiring a private investigator. He thought they might be able to dig up records or find witnesses to confirm what really happened. I mentioned it to my dad in passing, and his reaction was immediate. He mocked the idea and said I was wasting my time and money. His response felt more like fear than anger, which only fueled my suspicion. I started leaning on my friends for support. They encouraged me to keep digging and not give up, but I felt increasingly isolated from my family. My parents' avoidance, my sister's hostility, and my brother's quiet questioning made it clear that our family dynamic was crumbling under the weight of this secret. The final straw came when I found an old document buried in the box of family papers. It was a legal notice about a name change when I was 2 years old. My current name wasn't my original name. I didn't recognize the original name, but it matched the name Olivia's mom said they had given me. That discovery made everything feel real. I started seriously considering whether I needed to step away from my parents and focus on finding the truth. If they couldn't or wouldn't tell me what happened, I'd have to find out myself, even if it meant walking away from the only family I'd ever known. Update 2. After finding the legal notice about my name change, I hired a private investigator. It wasn't an easy decision, but I had no other way to get answers. The investigator moved quickly and uncovered something shocking. There were no hospital records of my birth in the town listed on my birth certificate.